Captain Sarah Chen had seen plenty of refugee camps across 36 worlds, but Station Kepler 7 broke something in her chest that she didn't know could still break. The Valkyrie children huddled in the corners of the abandoned cargo bay, their translucent skin flickering with the pale blue of hunger and fear. Their homeworld had been consumed by its dying sun 6 months ago, and the survivors had been scattered across the outer colonies like seeds on solar wind. Most stations had taken in a few dozen. Kepler 7, understaffed and under-resourced, had somehow ended up with 300. Sarah carried her standard-issue ration pack through the makeshift camp, heading toward the medical bay. She'd learned not to make eye contact. There were too many, and her supplies were meant for her crew's 2-week patrol. Command had promised relief supplies were coming. Command always promised. Human. The voice was small, barely above a whisper. Sarah's feet stopped before her brain could tell them to keep walking. A Valkyrie girl, no more than 7 in human years, stood in her path. Her membrane wings were folded tight against her back, a sign of submission or maybe just exhaustion. In her 4-fingered hands she clutched a stuffed toy, something that might have been a bear once, though its fur had been worn to threads and one ear hung by a single stitch. "Human, please," the girl said again, her translator device crackling with interference. "Trade your food for my teddy bear. My brother hasn't eaten in days." Sarah's throat tightened. Behind the girl, in the shadows of a support beam, she could see a smaller child lying on a thermal blanket. His skin had gone almost transparent, the bioluminescent organs inside him barely pulsing. The teddy bear shook in the girl's hands. Sarah could see what it meant to her. The way her fingers pressed into the worn fabric, the way her eyes kept darting back to it even as she held it out. It was probably the only thing she'd saved from her world, the only piece of home she had left. "What's your name?" Sarah asked, crouching down to the girl's level. "Lisa," the child whispered. "My brother is Kel. He's only 4 cycles. He needs food more than I need." Her voice cracked. "More than I need this." Sarah looked at the teddy bear, then at the ration pack in her hand, then back at the little girl who was trying so hard to be brave. The math was simple and cruel. 1 ration pack might buy Kel another day, maybe 2. But there were 300 Valkyrie in this camp, and Sarah's ship carried only 18 ration packs. 18 crew members, 14 days until they could resupply. Command protocols were clear. Crew first. Always. Sarah Chen had followed protocols for 15 years in the Terran Space Corps. She'd made the hard calls, the necessary calls, the calls that kept her people alive while others died. She'd written the condolence letters. She'd attended the memorial services. She'd done everything by the book because the book was written in blood and bitter experience. She looked at Lisa, at the teddy bear held out like a sacred offering, and something in Sarah's chest cracked clean through. "Keep your bear," Sarah said, pressing the ration pack into Lisa's free hand. The girl's eyes widened, their color shifting from pale blue to confused orange. "But trade, no trade. The food is yours. I don't understand. Humans don't give without taking. Everyone knows this. You are the bargainers, the deal makers." Sarah smiled sadly. "Yeah, well, maybe we're more than our reputation." She stood up, then paused. "Wait here." She walked back to her shuttle, her boots echoing on the metal deck. Her crew looked up as she entered. Rodriguez, Okoye, Patel, Kim, all of them tired from the patrol, all of them looking forward to a hot meal. "Change of plans," Sarah said, opening the supply locker. "We're going on half rations for the next 2 weeks." Rodriguez raised an eyebrow. "Captain? We're donating the other half to the camp." "There are 300 refugees, Cap," Patel said carefully. "Our 18 packs won't even—" "I know the math, Patel." Sarah started pulling out ration packs, stacking them in her arms. "I know it won't be enough. I know Command will probably bust me down a rank for this. I know all the reasons this is a stupid idea." She turned to face her crew, the ration packs heavy in her arms. "But there's a little girl out there who was willing to trade the last piece of her world for her brother's life. And I'll be damned if I'm going to teach her that humans only help when there's profit in it." The silence stretched for 3 heartbeats. Then Rodriguez stood up and walked to the supply locker. "Half rations." "Got it, Captain." He started pulling out packs. Okoye joined him, then Patel, then Kim, then the rest of them until all 18 crew members were pulling supplies, organizing, rationing. "It's still not enough," Kim said quietly. Even with half rations, we're only buying them a few days. I know, Sarah said, but maybe it buys them enough time for command to get off their asses. And if not... She looked at her crew, these humans who had just chosen hunger over protocol. We'll figure something out. That's what we do. 2 hours later, Sarah found Lisa again. The girl was sitting next to her brother, the teddy bear tucked under his arm, the ration pack already opened and carefully rationed into portions. We'll have more tomorrow, Sarah told her. Not enough, but more. Lisa looked up at her and the translator caught the tremor in her voice. Why would you do this? Sarah thought about all the reasons she shouldn't have, about protocols and chain of command and the cold mathematics of survival. Then she thought about a little girl offering her last treasure for her brother's life. Because someone once told me, Sarah said, that the measure of a civilization isn't what it does when resources are abundant. It's what it does when there's not enough to go around. She ruffled Lisa's head crest gently. Besides, we're human. Everybody thinks they know what that means. Maybe it's time we reminded the galaxy. As Sarah walked away, she tapped her comm. Rodriguez, get me a channel to command. And then get me channels to every ship within 3 systems. We're about to make some noise about Kepler-7. Behind her, Lisa clutched her teddy bear and watched the human go, her skin shifting to the deep gold of hope.